I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about she wants to take a 6-month break. Well, a lot of people ask for a break when a relationship is not going so well. If they're struggling, been going on for any amount of time, and maybe your partner's been frustrated or unhappy, whatever's going on, sometimes people feel like they want to take a break. Now, when someone asks for a break, a lot of times it does lead for a breakup. But, if somebody's asking you for that, of course you don't want to try and force them to not have that time and space, but you also don't want to put your life on hold forever either. It's up to you on how long you want to put your life on hold or wait for that break, or depending upon what's going on in the relationship or with that person. That's a decision you have to make for yourself. But for somebody to ask for a 6-month break, I think is just outrageous. So I got an email coaching today, and we'll see what's going on in this situation. This is a guy in his early 20s, and he's dating a woman who's a couple years older. He says, "Hi coach, my name is Howard, and my girlfriend initiated a break 2 days ago. Tentatively, the break is supposed to last 6 months, but the details haven't been firmly established, and we're going to nail those down once I move my stuff out as we were living together." Okay, so the first thing that I'm thinking here is that this woman is saying she wants a 6-month break, which essentially means she's putting his life on hold for 6 months while she figures out what she wants. I think it's completely unreasonable and unfair. It's a really long time, and I think she's just saying it because she wants to know that she doesn't have to give him up, that she might not lose him. So I think that's what her real motivation is here. I want to put him on hold while I get to see and do whatever I want. But let's go on here, okay? He says, "We had been together for 3.5 years. 3 days ago, she was behaving over the moon and in love with me. She said so herself that night. However, she's been all over the place for the last 2 months. She is bisexual, and she is yearning to explore that side of herself, as she felt shame about that her entire life." Okay, so this is a big issue. This woman is trying to figure out her sexuality. That's a major thing. It sounds like she's been afraid to explore that because she got a lot of guilt or shame from her family growing up. So this is a big thing. She's telling him she wants to put a 6-month break while she figures this out. That sounds crazy to me because this is a major life task. She may not figure out what her sexuality is for years, or it may be fluid. Maybe she's going to want to date women for a while, or maybe she'll get into a relationship with a woman. But, to ask him to put his life on hold that long is completely unreasonable. Also, she opened up and told me that she has completely lost herself over quarantine. She's entirely out of touch with herself, and she says she doesn't know who she'd be without me. She says that she has been codependent on my love and needs to reestablish a sense of self, which I completely understand. Truth be told, She has typically been the clingy one in our relationship, which I don't mind. I love her. Okay. So it seems like she's struggling with a sense of who she is, because there's a big part of herself that she needs to explore and figure out what she wants to do. I mean, that's a major life decision. And there's certainly no reason to think that she's going to have that figured out if they take a break. Okay. When she initiated the break, my immediate knee-jerk reaction was to flip. But thankfully, I very quickly found my center and talked to her with a strength and confidence I didn't know I had. I did not chase her, and I lovingly told her that I want her to have the space she needs to figure things out, and I would be okay and focused on my own growth. Good. You handled that remarkably well. So there was something inside of you that had enough self-esteem to say, all right, I'm going to give you this. She was very emotional and broke down crying. She says that she's terrified that I'm going to move on to another woman during this time. Well, ironically, you're terrified of the same thing. Right? You're breaking up with me because you want to go date other women. So, yeah, I'm going to let you sweat this out. I'm not going to let this woman think that I'm going to not date or go out with other people while you're going out and exploring your sexuality or figuring that out. That's completely unreasonable. That's why she wants that 6-month break. You see? She's terrified that she's going to lose him, which is exactly what I would want. Because doesn't he have to sit with that exact same thing? Literally? It's only fair. She says she's letting something go, and this could be the biggest mistake of her life, as she still desires for us to be together in the end. Well, I think there's some truth to that, but part of it seems like she's just telling him that to keep him lingering. Yeah, maybe it is going to be the biggest mistake of your life, but you also got to figure out your sexuality before you get into a long-term relationship, because you don't want to be with somebody for 30 years and then think, you know what, I really have been unhappy this whole time. I'm really gay. It wouldn't be fair to your partner to do that to them. So it's better that she does figure this out now. But I just don't like that she wants to put him on hold. I know enough about reattracting exes to give her the space she needs to miss me and evaluate our relationship. We have always been loving, and truthfully, our relationship has been amazing. Thankfully, I have always been nothing but loving and supportive. And I believe that she'll feel a great sense of loss without my presence, as I have really tried my best to be a great partner that she needs and deserves. And that's great. And she's going to have to sit with that and think about losing that. But that's what she has to live with when she gives you up and decides she wants to date other people. She said this isn't goodbye, and that she's going to work on this immediately and as hard as possible so that we can reunite before I move on. Well, there might be some truth to that, but what if she decides that she wants to date women? Right? If she ultimately decides that that's who she's more attracted to or who she wants to be with, then it doesn't matter how long the break is or how great you've treated her. She has always been brutally honest with me, and I trust what she is saying. I'm her first major relationship in love. We also have a dog together, and I'll be the one taking him, so I know that will weigh on her heart as well. Yeah, but you don't want her to stay with you just because of the dog. I mean, that's not really a reason to stay with somebody. Besides focusing on my growth, what should I be doing in the meantime so that we can reunite? And how long do you think it will be until I hear from her? Okay, so, you know, this isn't like an easy answer that she's going to find. Not likely. I mean, if she's bisexual and she's been attracted to women for a long time, or maybe her whole life, then she needs to explore that. There's no telling how long that it's going to take her. It could take a month. It could take 5 years. It could take 10 years. I mean, she's never dated a woman before, so she needs to figure that out. I mean, maybe she'll date women for a year and think, this isn't working for me. This isn't what I like. It's not what I thought it would be. Maybe she'll date women and say she wants to date women from now on. So this isn't like a definitive thing that's going to give somebody an easy answer. I mean, she might come back to you because she's afraid of losing you, and then 2 years from now say, you know what, I've been lying to myself all this time because I didn't want to lose you, but I really need to go see what it's like to date women. So you're in a tough situation here because I know you love this woman and you care about her, but you have to understand that her figuring out her sexuality isn't an easy thing to do. And if she does, it might mean that she doesn't want to date you again. So if I'm in this position, I'm going to go out and I'm going to date other people. I'm not going to put myself on hold for 6 months because it just doesn't seem reasonable at all. I just don't think it's going to work that way. Go out, date other people. If she comes back into your life, then you need to make sure this is what she really wants and that she's not doing it because she's afraid of losing you. You want to be sure that she's explored what she likes or doesn't like and has a better idea, or is willing to say, you know what, I am bisexual, but I want to be in a committed relationship with you. That's a personal decision that she's got to figure out on her own. And like I said, I don't think there's any kind of timetable for that. So I would say if I'm you, go out, date, meet new people. If she asks you, say, yes, of course I'm going to be dating other people. You're dating other people too, right? I mean, this is really one of the major reasons that she wanted the breakup is so she could explore her sexuality, and that means dating other people. So leave her be. Let her do the reaching out to you. Have conversations with her when she's ready or when she wants to. But be careful about getting back with her again, because you don't want to get back with her before she's really sure about what she likes or what she wants. If she does, you could wind up in another breakup in the future. So I think dating her is a risk because she's not really sure what she wants yet. And that could be for a lot of things, not just your sexuality. So until you really know that she's really sure or feels really confident, I wouldn't date this woman again. And even if she comes back around again, I'd be really reluctant because you don't know that she's really sure about her preferences. Okay? So be careful here. I'm glad that you've been able to show her some confidence and some compassion, show her some empathy about what she's going through. I'm sure this is not easy for her, but she is making the right decision to walk away and figure this out before she gets into any kind of like lifetime commitment with you or winds up having kids with you or something like that. So give her some time to do what she needs to do. Do your own thing and let her come back at her pace and make sure it's what she really wants. Because if you don't, and she does something out of, fear of losing you, it could wind up blowing up in your face in the future, okay? Tough situation, but I do like that she's been an adult about it and communicated that she's unsure about things. I don't like that she wants to give you a 6-month break, which I'm sure is just to alleviate her anxiety so she can do whatever she wants. No, you have to deal with that anxiety of losing me to somebody else just like I do, right? Okay. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one and found it helpful. Of course, if you want to get my help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth. and I will talk with you soon. To get my help personally, go to AskCraig.net and click on Schedule Coaching and choose the option that works best for you. I do email coaching or Skype. To schedule a coaching with Margaret, click on Margaret on the top of the page and order a Skype with her. For the Knowledge Creative Healing course, click on the link at the top of the page and click Get Started Now.